So what does it tell us? This is
It's here. It's here. Look what just arrived at the door. It's here. Okay. Package from England has arrived and the tools are inside. I think we need to go over here to the workbench, open this up, and see what we have inside. This is very exciting. Okay, here's the box. We're going to get right at it. Get this open so we can have a peek. That's not working worth a poop. Get the real knife in here. Okay. So back in late September. Back in late September, I went down to Telluride and retook the titling course. And there I got a good sense of how to use the handle letters. And I actually preferred those to the other method that I've been using. Ordered these and here they are. They're very expensive and they came all the way from the UK. So let's hope they're the right ones. I ordered the Baskerville 18-point type because I really like the way that type looks, and being that it's 18-point size, it's larger than what I've been using in the past, and I found in class that's what I used, and I found it much easier to work with, better results, looks better. Oh yeah. Well packed on their journey from British Isles. Ooh. Nice box they come in. Look at this. So what does it tell us? This is 14-point. Wrong ones. Disaster averted. Well, upon closer examination, these are 18-point. Yeah, although the little card here on the side of the box says 14-point. On the paperwork enclosed, it says 18-point. And I also brought this back from Telluride with me when I was in class in September. And these were all 18-point font. So I took one out of the box here, the V, and I fit it into that V. Where are we? And lo and behold, it fits. So, yes. 18-point. Okay, let's look at it. Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this piece of crap information that is incorrect and causes problems for people's hearts. There you go. Screw off. Okay, so they come in this nice little varnished box. You can still smell the varnish. So here we are. This is what they look like. But if you beautiful, aren't they? So they're all kind of arranged helter-skelter right now. So I will probably take a little bit of time, and I will arrange them all nice and neatly and alphabetically. And so here we go. Now, if I recall, these are they made out of brass? I think so. So these little devils, when we need to use them, you put them on the burner like that, and get them to the appropriate temperature, and then you come over and you put them on the leather. Well, you saw all that on the video we did on the trip to Telluride. Aren't those beautiful? Oh, I think I'm just going to Google these, pull them out, hold them. Okay, I might need a minute. I'll be back. Well, now that I have got over my fanboy appreciation of the new tools, that was fun. I'm going to put them to use. So I need to get some titles put on our Son of Tarzan first Canadian edition that I rebound. You can see it's in the beautiful bluey black Moroccan leather. And I'll show you what we need to do to get started first of all. So really the first thing you need to decide is what is your design of the title going to look like. So how much room do you have? How tall is the spine? So you make yourself this template. So this is an exact duplication of the size of the spine we're going to be working on. And here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to leave this headpiece blank for now. Then it's going to go the Son of Tarzan. I'm going to put Burroughs down here because Edgar Rice Burroughs is really long. So we're going to go with Burroughs. And it was published by the Toronto Publishing Company. I'm just going to go with Toronto. So you take one of our tools and, well, all of the tools that match these letters, and you get some rice paper, and you stamp them with ink to the rice paper, and then you cut all the letters out that you need. This one's different. We'll talk about that later. And so you end up with these strips. Right? Each letter is a separate strip. And then you can come along and you tape them. That's our center line of the spine. You tape them and line them up by eye. You can measure if you want, but usually, you can do it better by eye, I find. And you tape them all in place, and then you have your template. Then you take, this is kind of the Coles Notes version. You take another piece of rice paper. That is it. And you have traced the design. Right, so this matches right up. You tape that in place. Okay, and then you come and you can see everything shows through our translucent paper really nicely. And take your tools, heat them up, press them through, boom, 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 and that creates this template. And when you're done all that and you're happy with it, that comes off and it will be placed on the spine, and then we repeat the process but to the leather and far more carefully. We'll show you how that works. The template is attached to the spine of the book now. I've got it all lined up dead center. Everything is level to the spine this way. All the letters are spaced as well as I can get them from the center line to the edge of the boards. So it's all taped in place. Now I'll take each letter, come down and press through this template into the leather, and that'll be our first step. When that's complete, here, I'll come down here. When that's complete,
I'll remove this template and then I'll repeat that process so that the images are nice and not too deep, but just right. And we make sure that they're straight. If we need to adjust a little bit, we can do that then. So yeah, we'll just go through and attach all of those. So I've got one ready to go. So I've got my wet sponge here. I've got my tool, which is heating over here on the plate. So first thing we do is, see if you can hear that. Yep, it's sizzling. So this first go through, you want this tool to be nice and hot. So you have to be very careful not to touch any of the hot bits, because holy smokes, they are warm. Now this is a bit of a tricky one because it's just a little bit on the curve of the spine, and well, we'll see what we can do here. Press that in. Trick is you do not want to go too deep. It's one of the worst things you can do. But you need to make enough of an impression so that when we come through the second time, this tool will just click into that spot and away we go. Okay, I've got a lot to do on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to press those in and see how those turn out. One more letter to go, and the first step will be complete. So I'm going to get up here on my little step so that I can get over top of the letter, which funnily enough is a Z. Okay, here we go. Okay, step one. We'll be back with step two. Well, here is the moment of truth. We will see how our image is transferred onto the leather. Hopefully it went well, because you don't really get a second chance. So we're just going to peel this template back. And there we go. Well, looks nearly acceptable. Holy crap. Not really. You can see here, ooh, that N is way bad and that T is not great. Yeah. Yeah, we got a little too far on the left-hand side, so we're going to have to see what we can do to repair that. This next bit is a bit trickier because I'm not going to use the handle letter on it. I'm going to use the type holder, and they are infinitely more difficult to control and make straight and nice, which is why I went to the handle letters. However, the author's name is Edgar Rice Burroughs, and very long, right? And my spine's only this wide. So I'm just using his last name, Burroughs, and even still, I had to go down to a smaller type size to fit it across the width of the spine. So it's ready. Let's have a go. Sizzling. Okay, this is on our right, so we know it's the right way up. Just get right over top of it here. there we go. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Okay, I have one more letter to go with the handle letters. So we've got a few letters here that we're going to need to try and fix. Yeah, the problem was we were too not on center enough. Close, but not quite. So what we're going to do is take and we're going to moisten up the letter that we need to repair. Get the leather nice and supple. Already done a couple. Not too bad. I mean, obviously you want to avoid having to do this. However, I would say I am still learning. Okay, so the idea is, so that's our T. You just basically want to try and get under the leather that's a little bit suppler now, and just gently lift that leather up a little bit without leaving a hole in it. So there we go. It is cooperating. Oh yeah, that'll work. Okay, I think that's all we'll do with that one. So I'll go through and repair the rest. The burrows that we used with our type holder is it's a little this way, and we want it to be a little more that way. And that's a different fix than what we're doing right now.
Before I actually apply the gilt and the glare to the book that we're working on, I always like to do a test first, just to make sure. So I have done that test. You can see here, that was the first one. So I used a different kind of gold and a lower temperature. And as you can see, it didn't really turn out very well. So I tried the other type of gold that I have. I don't know why this makes a difference, because it's 24 karat gold that we use and a higher temperature, and maybe that was probably the difference. And you can see how much better that has worked. So the higher heat probably activated the glare and made the gold stick. So what I'll do now is I will take this 0 size brush, and I'll take my glare that has arrived from England, and I keep it in this container, and it's back in the shelf because the light will degrade it and doesn't work as well. So yeah, this will probably last me the rest of my life and 2 reincarnations. You know, whatever. When you're importing from the UK, you might as well get the big one because they charge you the same for shipping. So, and this is provided by J. Hewitt and Sons in England, and they provide all sorts of bookbinding materials. They're a great supplier. That's where 90% of my leather comes from. Anyway, I will take this brush and this glare, and I will paint all of the letters on the spine of the book, and let it sit for 15 minutes and dry. And then I'll go and I'll do it again and let it sit for an hour, and then we can get started with the actual application of the gold, which is kind of the sphincter tightening part of the exercise. Okay, we're going to start at the top and work our way down. It's good to get kind of over top and make sure that you're getting this stuff where you want it to, because wherever you put it, the gold will attach if you apply the heat. So, you want to be reasonably generous. You don't want to miss a spot, and
once you've applied it with the hot tool, you go in and clean out all of the excess gold that you don't want. So everywhere else other than the letter itself. But still, you want to be as accurate as you can when you apply it, because the less cleaning you have to do, the better, because that can sometimes mark up the leather. And the more you do this, the obviously the better you get at it, more accurate you become, better sense of how much you should be using. Okay, I'm going to go down and do every single letter on the spine. I'll be back. Okay, everything's everything's ready to rock. Let's try to put some gold on this book. We put our little piece over top of the letter. We're going to roll over top of that with a piece of cotton. And in theory, that should stick that to the letter we're working on, mostly. We're just going to do that again. This gold is very fussy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna take the sizzle off of our tool. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it too cold. You want it just right. And then we're just gonna let this tool find its way into the pre-existing letter we've already put in the leather, if you recall. And we'll let the heat do its job. I'm applying very little pressure at this point. The heat's going to activate the glare that we applied, and that's what's going to suck that gold down into the letter. Let's have a look. Looks pretty good, I think. Damn. The gold over here, like just moving my arm, makes it go whoosh. You have to be so careful working with this stuff. It's drive you bananas. Oh, crap. Did not want to stick up there. Okay, so we need another piece. Here, I'll show you, I think. See, the top part of the letter didn't stick. So I'm going to fuss with that and work away and see if we can get the gold where we want it to go. I'll show you some when I get a few done. Well, I've done about as much damage as I can do, and damage the key word here. That's very disappointed in the outcome with my first attempt with the handle letters. However, in bookbinding, you take each experience, learn from it, move forward, apply it to your next project. So I'm going to show you. Here we are. I am not happy at all. This is off center. I should have been more patient lining those up. Most of the letters are too deep when I pressed them in the first time. You have to keep them shallow, or they end up looking, well, like this. Yeah, it's like this weird, it's like Tarzan swinging through the trees. I mean, this is all avoidable. So, like I say, it's disappointing, there's no question, but I'm going to take this forward and get better. I'm not going to let it stop me. I'll move on to my next project, maybe a little practice in between, and until I can get good enough at it that I'm proud of it and willing to put it up for sale. This will go into my collection. I mean, this wasn't a book that was
You know, if it turned out, yeah, I might have put it up for sale, but it'll go on my shelf. And as a reminder, you know, be more patient, be smarter. Okay, well, there you go. That's it for this episode of Bailey the Bookman. We'll see you on the next one.